Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video of Wargaming Miniature Showcase. Finally I received the 3D printer I ordered some time ago. I use an UP Mini by PP3DP. Today's video is about my first experience with 3D printing for Wargaming Terrain. I used this model, well, let's call it a Knight in Armor by Fractal Noise. While we will watch the printing process in fast forward, I would like to speak a bit about 3D printing for Wargaming Terrain and showcases. Using the printer was easier than I thought. After setting it up almost like a regular printer, I ran through the setup and calibration instructions in the manual and was good to go in just 1 hour. I skipped the creation of a model myself for this test and downloaded some free model data. Preparing the model for printing was really easy. I just had to choose the orientation of the model on the printing bed. The software then added supports and hollow sections to the model according to a preset option, which worked out well. And then I just had to push the print button, the printer heated up and built up the statue in 181 layers in about 25 minutes. A question one might ask is, why do you 3D printing for this kind of stuff in the first place? The printers are still expensive and can't produce anything a talented sculptor or caster couldn't do. That's right, and for me 3D printing is an addition to my toolset and should not replace anything but add to it. I will not print entire showcases, but I will add elements to them. The comparison to sculpting and casting is valid. A talented sculptor can create almost anything from clay or green stuff, but unfortunately I'm not that talented as a sculptor. With 3D printing I can sculpt stuff with a computer, which lets me, for example, correct mistakes with a few clicks. Or I can have someone else sculpt stuff for me. The internet is already an amazing resource for free printable objects. Replication of Wargaming Terrain pieces is mostly made by casting plastic into a mold. For larger production I figure that casting is the only option, but for a small project with just a few pieces, for a unique diorama, the costs for casting tools and materials and the effort for building the mold and casting would be inefficient and very time consuming. In my opinion, 3D printing can be a valuable addition for building showcases and, well, I would call myself a tech nerd. I was looking forward to play around with this stuff. Alright, printing is finished, now let's have a look at the results. I decided to paint it to increase the contrast and use it as an example. I didn't use a specific primer, I just brushed on some Vallejo black game color, which covers really good as usual. After it dried I applied some gold paint and a brown ink, which would be called a shade nowadays. Although this was a quick and dirty paint job, it gives a good impression about the detail and printing resolution. The result ain't bad at all in my opinion. The statue is almost regular miniature scale. A larger object for a terrain piece could have more details. Well, what I don't like is quite obviously the aliasing or stair-stepping effect from the individual printing layers. I wouldn't use an object like this in a showcase. I tried filler and sanding to hide the steps, but it didn't really work out at all. After some research online I found that acetone is used to glue 3D printed parts together by partly solving their surface. I thought that was worth a try and bought a can of acetone. After printing another Space Marine, Knight, I dipped it completely into acetone for 5 seconds. After letting it dry I repeated this once. In my opinion this came out pretty well. The acetone dissolved the surface well enough to remove the stairs almost completely with a minimal loss in detail. I painted the second statue with the same color scheme for comparison. A short dip of acetone is definitely an improvement to the overall printing quality. I guess this will become kind of a standard procedure. And that's it for now, with my first experience with a 3D printed statue for Wargaming Terrain. Thanks for joining me. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel or join me on Google+. If you have other experience or suggestions for 3D printed terrain pieces, please leave a comment below or on my blog. Thanks for watching.